In the frozen wilderness of Russia's Ural Mountains, a mystery unlike any other has gripped the world for over 6 decades. The Dyatlov Pass Incident, a tale of 9 hikers who embarked on an expedition and never returned the same. Their tragic fate has sparked theories ranging from government conspiracies to supernatural forces, but the truth remains elusive. Join us as we unravel the chilling details of this unsolved tragedy. The ill-fated expedition begins. In January 1959, 10 experienced hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, set out on a challenging trek through the Ural Mountains. The group, comprised mostly of university students, sought to earn a higher-level certification in ski tourism. Their journey took them to a remote area known as Kolat Shakal, or Dead Mountain in the local Mansi language. After a few days, one member of the group, Yuri, fell ill and turned back, a decision that likely saved his life. The remaining 9 continued their trek, unaware that the harsh wilderness would soon become their final resting place. With detailed journals and photographs, they documented their journey, but their cheerful spirits would soon give way to an unspeakable tragedy: the grisly discovery. Weeks passed with no communication from the hikers. Concerned, their families pressed for a search and rescue operation. On February 26th, rescuers located their campsite, and what they found defied all logic. The tent had been slashed open from the inside, as if the group fled in panic. Scattered footprints led away from the site, but they were barefoot, despite the sub-zero temperatures. The first bodies were discovered near the edge of a forest, partially dressed and showing signs of hypothermia. As the search continued, more remains were found further away, some buried under snow. Autopsies revealed shocking injuries: fractured skulls, broken ribs, and one hiker missing her tongue. Yet no external wounds indicated what could have caused such damage, leaving investigators baffled. Official investigation and the mysterious verdict. The Soviet authorities launched an investigation into the incident, but their findings raised more questions than answers. The final report concluded that the group had died due to a compelling natural force, a vague explanation that left the public unsatisfied. The lack of eyewitnesses, combined with conflicting evidence, only deepened the enigma. Radiation was found on some of the hikers' clothing, fueling rumors of secret military experiments. Additionally, reports of strange orange lights in the sky around the time of their deaths led to speculation about UFO involvement. The case was closed quickly and files were sealed, adding an aura of secrecy that still lingers today. Theories that defy explanation. Over the years, countless theories have emerged to explain the Dyatlov Pass incident. Some suggest an avalanche forced the group to flee their tent, yet the lack of consistent snow patterns and the positioning of the bodies challenge this idea. Others believe a katabatic wind, a rare and powerful weather phenomenon, could have created panic, though this doesn't account for the severe injuries. Paranormal enthusiasts argue that the group encountered something otherworldly, citing the radiation and missing body parts as evidence. Meanwhile, conspiracy theorists point to Soviet military experiments, claiming the hikers were accidental victims of weapons testing. Despite extensive debate, no theory fully accounts for all the strange details. Recent developments. A new explanation? In 2020, Russian authorities reopened the case, citing renewed public interest. Their revised conclusion pointed to an avalanche as the most likely cause of death. This explanation relied on advanced computer simulations inspired by Frozen, the Disney animated film, to model snow movement. The theory suggests that the group cut the tent to escape snow pressure, leading to their tragic dispersal. While the avalanche theory gained traction, it hasn't silenced skeptics. Many argue that the injuries were too severe and inconsistent with typical avalanche victims. Additionally, the campers were seasoned hikers and unlikely to make such critical errors in judgment. The reopened investigation may have shed some light, but for many, the mystery remains as unsolved as ever. Cultural impact and ongoing fascination. The Dyatlov Pass incident has become more than a mystery. It's a cultural phenomenon. Books, documentaries, and podcasts dissect the case, each offering their own interpretations. The haunting nature of the story and the chilling photos left behind have captivated audiences worldwide. Tourists now flock to the site, retracing the group's steps in search of answers. The incident has even inspired fictional adaptations, including films like Devil's Pass. But despite the fascination, the lingering question remains. What truly happened to Igor Dyatlov and his team on that fateful night? The mysterious medical examinations. One of the most disturbing aspects of the Dyatlov Pass incident is the peculiar nature of the autopsies performed on the hikers. The bodies of the victims revealed injuries that were inconsistent with a normal outdoor accident, leading some to question whether they had been subjected to something more violent or mysterious. Several of the hikers were found with fractured skulls and broken ribs, but curiously there were no external signs of trauma. Some were even missing their eyes and tongues, raising speculation about whether the injuries could have been caused by an unknown weapon or force. One hiker had their body exposed to extreme damage, but their face showed no signs of injury. These bizarre findings have only fueled the mystery surrounding their deaths. The official report from Soviet authorities pointed to the trauma being the result of a forceful impact, possibly from an avalanche. But the fact that the injuries appeared so inconsistent with the theory left many unanswered questions. Were the injuries caused by an avalanche, or was something more sinister at play? This disparity in medical reports continues to spark heated debates among investigators and conspiracy theorists. The role of the Soviet government. One of the most enduring aspects of the Dyatlov Pass incident is the involvement, or lack thereof, of the Soviet government. After the incident occurred, the authorities quickly sealed off all information, withholding documents and restricting access to the case for many years. This secrecy raised suspicions that the government was hiding something from the public. In the years following the deaths of the hikers, rumors circulated that the group had stumbled upon a government experiment, possibly related to military activity or nuclear tests. Many speculated that the hikers had been unknowingly caught in the fallout of a covert Soviet operation, which would explain some of the more bizarre aspects of the case, including the radiation traces found on their clothing. The Soviets' handling of the investigation, shutting it down swiftly and providing vague answers, only intensified these conspiracy theories. With files sealed and no public disclosure of the findings, the incident became a symbol of Cold War-era secrecy and government control. To this day, many believe the truth is still hidden somewhere in those sealed Soviet archives. The death of one of the hikers. There is also the strange case of one of the hikers, Yuri Krivonishenko, who reportedly suffered burns on his face. His body was found with his clothes charred, suggesting that he might have been exposed to some sort of intense heat. The circumstances surrounding these injuries are deeply troubling, especially considering the frigid temperatures in the area at the time. The mystery of these burns only adds to the many questions about what happened at Dyatlov Pass. Some believe that the hikers were exposed to a powerful electrical discharge, or possibly even a secret military weapon, explaining the odd injuries and burns. But no evidence has ever been presented to explain how such injuries could occur in the harsh winter conditions of the Ural Mountains. Others have suggested that the burns could have been caused by a lightning strike, but this theory doesn't account for the fact that there were no other signs of lightning activity during the expedition. Could Krivonishenko have been a victim of some unknown force or experiment? His case, like so many others involved in the Dyatlov Pass incident, remains unresolved and deeply puzzling. The psychological impact on survivors and investigators. The Dyatlov Pass incident also took a psychological toll on those who investigated it and the families of the victims. The survivors who spoke about the tragedy, the one hiker who turned back early, Yuri Yudin, have remained haunted by the mystery of what happened to his friends. Yudin, who narrowly escaped death by turning back when he became ill, has spoken about the nightmare that followed the tragic discovery. As for the investigators, many were left with a profound sense of confusion. The lack of any conclusive answers meant they had to wrestle with the same questions the public still asks today. The Dyatlov Pass incident stands as one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. With every new theory, we inch closer to understanding what happened yet the truth remains elusive. What do you think caused this tragedy? Was it natural forces, human error, or something far more sinister? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more compelling stories of the unexplained.